I want to talk a little bit about hand planes. It's an important part of woodworking. A lot of woodworkers don't do much with hand tools. They do everything with machines, and that's fine. I have done most of my woodworking with machines, but lately I've gotten into using handheld tools because, first of all, they do some things that you can't do readily with machine tools, and they're simpler to set up in many ways, and there's a lot of functions that they can perform. So today I want to talk a little bit about a hand plane. This is the most basic hand plane that you can make. It's that you can deal with. It's made by Stanley, and another name for the company is Bailey. And this plane is a number 4 plane. Planes are numbered from like number 3 through number 8 or 9, whatever, and then there are other numbers, type 51, whatever. We won't go into that, but they're numbered. This is a number 4, which is like a standard hammer to a guy building a house. This is a standard plane. You can see that it's 2.5 inches wide, and it's about 9 inches long. The sole, this is called the sole, is perfectly flat, and it's very important to have that flat. And then the way it works is there's a blade. This is the blade right here, and it's held in place, and then there's a slit in the bottom, and the blade protrudes through that slit. And the way it cuts is that blade is then against the wood, and it takes a shaving off of the wood, and you can adjust the thickness of that that shaving. So let's look at the basic parts. There's a handle on the front. There's a handle in the back that's like a pistol grip. Normally you hold a plane like that with your index finger pointing the direction that the plane is going to go. Now the plane has this plane iron, which is the part that's sharpened. So we can remove that, and here you see the plane iron. This is the part that gets sharpened, and then this plane cap goes on top to keep the plane blade from chattering and moving. Also notice that there's a bevel on the plane, and the bevel is pointing down, so it's at the bottom, and this top surface of the blade is completely flat. So I can take that apart and show you. So here's the plane iron that we were looking at, and you see there's a beveled edge, and that's what's sharpened, and this is completely flat. And then we have this guy, the cap, that you adjust to be very close to the edge, and we will talk in future videos about how important that is and how to set it. Tighten that down, and then there's the slit through the sole of the plane. And you put that in, and then you put the cap on. And this lever tightens the cap so that now this is rigidly held and can't be moved easily. But now taking that apart has changed the adjustment, so now that it's taking a much wider shaving, so we have to readjust it. The way you adjust it is through this thumb screw that's in the back, and it moves the blade up and down. So we'll move it back a little. And then getting it right is trial and error. That's still too thick. So we move it back a bit. now it's getting thinner. And if you were to feel this, this is very perfectly smooth. So the idea of the plane is to smooth surfaces and to remove wood from surfaces, to smooth them, and to make them flat. So the number 4 is a standard for the plane industry, and it's the one that's most commonly used. In future videos, we'll talk about different kinds of planes and what they're used for. But that's the basics of the number 4 and the parts of it. If you like what you see, hit the like button, and we encourage you to subscribe, and we'll keep you posted on future videos.